It's supposed to feel.
Yo, yo, yo. Good afternoon, Pirates fans. Jim Rosati hopping on here. I'm doing a solo show today. Really just wanted to really hop on and give some quick thoughts on what's happened today. So if you haven't heard, I'm sure you have. It's a joyous, joyous occasion for Pittsburgh Pirates fans, really the whole city of Pittsburgh, the Pirates organization, whatever. The Pittsburgh Pirates announced, they haven't announced, but so it hasn't happened yet, but it's not official. But it looks like that they have agreed to terms with Bryan Reynolds to an extension. It's an 8-year, $108 million extension. So, I mean, it just kind of came out of the blue. Like it was around lunchtime today. We had all heard about, obviously this has been going on all off season. We had the trade request prior to spring training. In spring training, we heard some rumblings. Yeah, $106.75 million. Connor, you got it. You got it on the nail there. You hit the nail on the head there, Connor. But yeah. So going back. Off-season trade request. Spring training, we heard some rumblings of, hey, Bob Nutting doesn't really like this trade request. He would really like Bryan Reynolds to stick around. We heard some reports that, maybe there's actually a window here to negotiate something. Right before opening day, we heard, hey, they agreed on like terms, but there was this opt-out clause that the Reynolds camp wanted to throw into the deal, and the Pirates, rightfully so. I think we all kind of, discussed it at the time. The extension that was agreed upon at that point in time didn't make sense for the Pirates with an opt-out clause, right? So back to the drawing board we go. Today, like I said, after what seems like 3 weeks of pretty quiet talk, haven't really heard much about it. But today, reports come out. They agree to an extension. I want to, like I said, before we hop into the real details, I really just want to kind of talk about just how, how great of a day this is. And I am always going to be the first person to criticize this organization. I'll always be the first person to criticize Ben Cherington. I'll always be the first person to criticize Bob Nutting when they deserve to be criticized, right? But today, they don't deserve any of that. They deserve all the praise in the world for making sure that this thing got done. Bryan Reynolds deserves a lot of praise too, because he didn't have to sign this deal. It's a pretty team-friendly deal once you get into the nitty-gritty, but he could have just stuck to his original trade request, played out, the season for the Pirates, maybe forced their hand with a trade and signed somewhere else. But, you could tell that just from what he was saying and how this thing progressed, that Bryan Reynolds wanted to be in Pittsburgh. He wanted to be in Pittsburgh. And I think once you see the details of how this extension looks, that's going to be apparent. So like I said, shout out to the Pirates, shout out to Bob Nutting, shout out to Ben Cherington, shout out to Bryan Reynolds and his camp for getting together, figuring something out. And this is just a big win for the organization. It's a big win for the family, for the fan base. Jamie says here, yeah, a big win for Bryan and his family. He just secured generational wealth for himself and his kids and his children's children, right? So Jeff says we might get to see Bryan Reynolds smile. Yeah, hate to give Nutting credit, but he earned some credit here. And yeah, like I said, it's a good day. It's a really good day. Connor says he's over the moon. Yeah, I mean it's hard to it's hard to remember a time when this many people were this excited about the Pittsburgh Pirates. Like, not only are they winning baseball games, they're in first place in the Central, they have the best record in the National League, but now you get news of this and you realize Brian Hayes is a Pirate for the next 7 years. Bryan Reynolds is a Pirate for the next 8 years. O'Neal Cruz is going to be a Pirate for a while. Like, you're starting to see this team come together, and you can see what it's like. You can see what the rebuild was aiming towards. Now, we can argue all we want whether or not the rebuild was the way to go, and there's a time and a place for that. But you can see now that this team is committed to winning. This team is committed to winning really right now and in the foreseeable future. So it's an exciting day, because all those years where we kind of sat through just pathetic, terrible, awful baseball, bullpen, relief outings from Miguel Del Pozo, start after start after start from Josh Van Meter, right? Those days are behind us. We have like a competent baseball team right now. We just secured Bryan Reynolds for the next 8 years. Like, this team is exciting now, and you have a reason to be excited for a while. So Connor says, yeah, legit haven't enjoyed Pirates baseball since 2018. It's been hard to enjoy this team. Really, it's been hard. I don't blame anybody who jumped ship, 5 years ago, and maybe they're crawling back now, because it's been rough. It's been rough the past few years. So like I said, Pirates fans, you all deserve it. We deserve it. Each and every one of you. You deserve times like this and a day like today to get excited about this team. So those are my quick thoughts on it. I couldn't be happier. Like I said, just incredibly excited that they got something done here. I do want to share, let's actually kind of talk about the actual deal a little bit. So it was announced as an 8-year, $106.75 million extension. It was really a 7-year, $100 million extension once you kind of break it down. That 2023 number, $6.75 million, that's what he was making this year. So nothing really changes there. The difference is he gets the $2 million signing bonus. 2024 and 2025 are his last 2 arbitration years. So he'll be making $10 million in 2024, $12 million in 2025. His first year of what would have been his free agency, 2026, he's going to make $14 million. And then the next 4 years, 2027, 28, 29, 30, this deal maxes out at $15 million guaranteed. And then they stuck a team option on there at the end too for $20 million. If they don't want it, there's a $2 million buyout. So on top of that $6.75 million, it's a guaranteed additional $100 million. And there's potential in here to make it an additional $118 million, I guess, on top of that. So with the team option, if it gets picked up. So yeah, man, it's exciting. Anthony asks, will they win a championship in the next 7 years? You know what? Like, Anthony, like that question, like if you would ask me that question, 2 years ago, I would have said, why are we even discussing this? But like the team is shaping up to being and looking like a very good team. And then you add someone like, by all assumption, we're going to draft Dylan Cruz. Pirates are going to draft Dylan Cruz in this summer. You add Dylan Cruz to the mix, and you can like really see this team start taking shape. So, yeah, Jeffy, I'm upset I didn't bet more on the over. Yeah, that over at 67.5. It's looking pretty good right now, isn't it? So, Jamie, it's good money for Brian, but damn, we actually got a really good deal on this. And yeah, I agree. Like, I mean, he just guaranteed himself over $100 million, right? He's set. The guy's set. But absolutely, like this is a pretty friendly deal. Like the Pirates are not on the hook for more than $15 million in a season. And to be honest with you, in baseball now, today's age of baseball, $15 million really isn't all that much money. What's $15 million going to look like in 2027, 2028? I mean, it's going to be less, right? So, yeah, just an incredible job by all parties involved. Um, just a great day. Like I said, enjoy it, guys. And it's pretty fun. It comes on, it comes right before a pretty exciting series here at PNC Park this week. The Dodgers come to town for 3 games. Again, the Pirates are in first place. Just a lot of really good vibes going on right now. Um, I didn't really think we'd ever get to this day. I didn't think we'd get to this day. When the news came out that Bryan Reynolds requested a trade, I did not foresee talking about a Bryan Reynolds 8-year extension 2 months later. So, yeah, Jamie says $15 million is too Rich Hills. Like, yeah, I mean that's kind of where we're at. Like Bryan Reynolds is going to be here to stay, and he's a good ball player. Like the reason why you want this is because he's a good baseball player. Like, yeah, you want him to stay because he wants to stay, and that's nice for the fan base. But at the end of the day, the Pirates just locked up a really good baseball player for a really long time. A couple more thoughts here. Bryan and Bryan Reynolds deals should pay for themselves in 3 to 4 years, considering $8 to $9 million per WAR. Absolutely. Like these deals, both of them, you could make an argument for Hayes and be like, hey, you know what? It would be really nice if he could start hitting the ball a little bit better. But just with Hayes's glove, like the contract is going to be worth it. And I find it hard to believe that the Pirates don't get their money's worth out of this Bryan Reynolds deal either. Not only is it going to, like I said, lock up a good player for quite some time, but it buys more goodwill with the fan base, which they've been doing a pretty good job. Like the Pirates have been doing a pretty good job with the fan base. Like I don't know if they went to some HR camp, during the off season or some PR camp during the off season, but one area where this team really, really struggled in was just keeping their fans happy and engaged in the product on the field and the players on the field. And they've done a really good job with that this year. They brought in Carlos Santana, who seems to be a fan favorite, a fun guy. By far their biggest signing was Andrew McCutchen, bringing him in, and we all know how much he means to this city. And now by doing this, it's just another show of good faith to the fan base that, yeah, we're a low market team. We can't do what other teams can do all the time, but we're gonna do what we can to hold on to our good players right now. And like I said, this is something that 10 years ago, does this deal happen with this team and this ownership? I don't know, but here we are, 2023, and the Pirates finally have their first $100 million deal. They were one of 4 teams in baseball to not have one prior to today. So they get off of that list. It's just kind of fun to be on social media and see national media, picking up on this story. And it kind of gives me the laughs whenever you see people picking on the A's, the Royals, and the White Sox are now the only teams without $100 million deal. So the Pirates are no longer a part of that. They have now given a contract worth over $100 million. Yeah, Bryan Reynolds, well deserved. Anthony asks, is Ben Cherington good at GM stuff? Anthony, he was good today. Let's stick with that. I'm going to stick with the good vibes. He was good today. He was good at getting the Hayes deal done. He's put together what seems like a pretty solid team. They're performing really well right now. I'm not really ready to say, Ben Cherington, I approve of you now and everything that you've done, but I'm not gonna get into any really negativity today at all. I want to be positive. So, yeah, is Ben Cherington good at GM stuff? Today he was. Jamie, it's nice to have a solid competitive team, but also the first pick of the draft. Things working out well. Yeah, I mean, the fact that they won that lottery last year sounds like, and like I said, Dylan Cruz seems like he's like the apparent pick. I can't imagine them getting cute with this draft and going with some other route. But yeah, like you add a prospect like Dylan Cruz to the caliber of Dylan Cruz to this organization, and he just slots in. He slots in really, really well. And yeah, Connor, I'm excited for Cruz. You should be. You should be really excited for Dylan Cruz. He's a really good ball player. So yeah, that's just an awesome day, guys. Bryan Reynolds is a Pirate. He's a Pirate for a long time. And hopefully we can just kind of keep these good times rolling, have a good series against the Dodgers. There's a few other people on this roster I would like to see Cherington work out some extensions with. And so I guess that's kind of next step forward is, what do we do with maybe Mitch Keller? What do we do with O'Neal Cruz? Yeah, let's keep this going. Like I said, he's doing a good job. Doing a good job right now. So and it doesn't pain me to say that. Like I want this team to be really good. And the fact that we're seeing the steps being put in place for that to happen, it excites me, and it makes me look forward to watching them tonight. It makes me look forward to watching them, for years to come. So that's all I got for you guys. Like I said, I didn't want to take up too much time, but I really wanted to just kind of share my thoughts on the deal, go through it. And it's just, like I said, it's a great day for you guys. It's a great day for Pirates fans. It's a great day for the Pirates organization. Just a really great day all around. So thanks for joining. We'll have a post-game show later tonight, and I'm sure those guys will discuss this a little bit as well. But yeah, let's go Bucks. Let's see if we can steal some games here against the Dodgers. Later, guys.
Hey, you all. Thank you for watching. I know we try to provide the most entertaining content that we can, and we'd love to spread it to as many people as possible. So I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but if you could take the 5 seconds to like this video and subscribe to the page, it helps out so much more than you know. Thank you, and let's go Bucks.